Hey class, here's the body composition lab. So this is going to be a 2-week lab, and as always, let's keep up with our warm-ups. I entered all of this for you. So warm-up week 1, warm-up week 2. Don't forget the graphs. Remember, we're graphing either mean arterial pressure or heart rate. So don't forget to calculate mean arterial pressure. Um, so good with that. Okay, so with body composition, this is going to be a 2-week lab. You're going to take circumferences on one individual this week and someone completely different next week. So pick someone that you feel relatively comfortable with or comfortable enough. We aren't working in groups at all, so our very last 2-time lab, we're not actually working in groups. You're just working with whoever will work with you. So make sure to read through this, and there's a bunch of different circumferences that we take, and you'll do this with a Golic tape. I demonstrated that in the video on my calf. So make sure to read through these and do it as exact as possible. It would be beneficial if you wore shorts and probably a short sleeve t-shirt and everything. I know it's going to be cold, so just bring a change of clothes. So person 1, you're going to take all of this data on them, measurement 1, 2, average at measurement 3 if they vary by more than half a centimeter. Then you'll also do their waist to hip ratio, so their waist in inches, waist to hip ratio, which is really just the division of this. So waist in the numerator, hip in the denominator. You'll tell me the waist category and the waist to hip ratio category, which you can see down here, waist circumference category, and there's the risk categories for waist to hip ratio. Here's our categories there. So hopefully you understand how to do that math from us talking about it in lecture. Next thing, skin folds. On your partner, you're going to do both a 3 and 7 site skin fold. So if we look at the Excel document, you can enter a lot of things in here. I highlighted in yellow every place where you're actually going to enter some data. So entering their weight, their height in inches, they'll calculate the BMI for you. The sum of all the skin folds for the 3 site and the 7 site, that'll tell us the body density and subsequently the body fat percentage. How many pounds of fat mass, how many pounds of fat-free mass, gives us the fat-free mass index and the body fat mass index, which we'll have to look at later. But yeah, I was trying to just gift this to y'all so you didn't have to do too much math. Sorry, that's not what I was looking at. Back to here. Skin folds. So there's 3 and 7 site. So pick the correct areas for males or females, whoever you're doing. Pay attention to where exactly all of these are supposed to be. It's really important that whenever you're taking the skin fold that you pinch a lot harder than you think you're supposed to. In class, I'll help you with that because most people really don't give it as fair of a shake as they should. Here are the body density calculations, which we're actually predicting body density from the skin folds. And after that, we put them in the Siri equation in order to predict body fat percentage. So I do have all of that written for you in the Excel document, so make sure to get that ready. It should help. For all the sites, you'll write which are the 7 sites that you're taking, and take them 2 times, third if needed, if it varies by more than 1 to 2, average the measurements, and I want you to sum 8 to 3 and 7 site skin fold and put their age in years. You'll put the sum of skin folds here for both 3 and 7, which it's up there, so just write it again. Write the body densities for 3 and 7 and the percent body fat for 3 and 7. Typically, if you want it to be a little bit more accurate, add about 3.5 to 5 to it because that, just in my experience, that seems to be how it works. Week 2, we'll do the same thing, 7 sites, so on and so forth. Next, calculating your partner's BMI. And percent body fat based on BMI, which we have normative data right here. I want you to answer some questions about that for me. Oh, also before, if the percent body fats are different with 3 and 7 sites, I, I want you to tell me about that and speculate a little bit why. Moving on a little bit. Um, Calculating like fat mass and fat-free mass. There's a couple of different ways how to do that, and there's different normative categories for this. So um, there are numerous different ways of classifying people, so body mass index, fat-free mass index, body fat mass index. Um, and I just want y'all to be aware of at least some of these numbers. Um, Moving on, bioelectrical impedance analysis. This one, there is a strict protocol that you have to follow. Now, I understand that depending on when your lab is, you probably won't follow this to a T, and that's completely okay. I just want you to take note of that. The accuracy is ±5 if you follow everything exactly. It could be a lot different if you follow it different than that. Um, so on your partner, I want you to write down their data, put them as normal, athlete, then opposite sex, percent body fats, how many pounds of fat it says they have, how many pounds of lean mass that it says that they have.